The point of this article was really to shed light on the conversations that I have and the organization has with corporations over this past year during this racial awakening. The leaders in these corporations have really been interested in how they can plug into creating solutions that can once and for all rid our society of white supremacy and lift our community up. And this is a point to kind of put them to task. Like, first of all, you need to look internally in your own organization and figure out what's actually happening that is potentially harming or causing more harm to African Americans in the corporation. So looking at, your C-suite and your board, how are they diversified? Are they made up of the community in which you serve, your business is serving, right? And then looking at your hiring practices. Are there any unconscious bias or other things that may hinder the ability to actually diversify your pool of talent? The other parts of it really are about how the experience of individuals in your corporation differ based on who they might be, and making sure that you're instilling different resources and different practices, whether it's training or resource groups or other things that create an environment in which is inclusive. The other part starts to get us to the outside of the community and really think about your supply chain and how you diversify. That is a critical opportunity for our community to increase wealth, create opportunity for our community by being able to be a supplier of those corporations. And that means your goods and services, right? The other part we talked about is your philanthropy and your corporate responsibility and how you show up in community. Our community is a part of your corporation, both internally with your employees and your team members, as well as your customers. We make up your customer base. And so we are not a monolith, and you need to get to know our communities as well. And doing that in a way that's responsible and in partnership. Do not, put things down on community and say, this is what we're gonna do, but work side by side with us and build trust so that then we can actually get something done. 6 months has passed since much of these conversations have started. And what I would say is that they're continuous. And I think they heard the call that we need to be patient and we need to take steps forward, because this is going to be a long process to overturn the many ills that our society has had, right? And so I don't see them necessarily going back to business as usual. I see them in many cases continuously reaching out and trying to find what's the next step that they can take forward. What's the next way that they can approach this? And you see it in some of their decisions that they made with their C-suites and with their employees and how they're focusing. Target's made a commitment to increasing, their executive leadership team, for instance. And U.S. Bank has made investments in how they are going to invest more money into Black-owned businesses. So you see some initial commitments, and I think there's a lot of potential to continue that, because the corporate sector has a very important role in order of being a part of the change that we seek. Everything cannot be done through philanthropy. Everything cannot be done through government. It has to be a collective approach to how we're actually going to change the society that we want to see.